In order to gain more control over your reality and actually become the creator of your circumstances more consistently and more consciously, deliberately, right? That's why we are in this whole create your own reality thing. In order to do that, you have to become more like, in quality, as a creator. What do I mean by that? See, the state that most of us live in, if we did have the power to create our own reality, right, fully, if all your thoughts started to manifest and you really started to accelerate this manifestation process and live, like, create the life that you really wanted, right? If you had all that power right now, in the state that most people live, which is constant worry, constant fear of uncertainty, fear of the future, constant thinking negative thoughts, what would happen if you just got all that power to create your own reality? It's like this big sword, right? This heavy big sword, and we just gave it to you. Not we as in me, but let's just say, God came out of nowhere and gave you that big, powerful sword. In that state that you're always living in, constant negative thoughts, what would happen? Your life would become absolutely chaotic. So when a lot of people watch The Secret, or they watch some YouTube videos about the law of attraction, and then they practice it for maybe a week or so, and then they say, man, this doesn't work. All this is just, spiritual nonsense. See, it doesn't work because in the state that most people live in the state of consciousness that most people live in, always thinking negative thoughts, always worried, just living on automatic, not taking responsibility for what they have created, and having no awareness throughout their day, just truly living on autopilot. In that state, you actually don't have the power to create your own reality. Life just happens, and you just deal with life. Because look at that, in that paradigm, in that worldview, you are looking at life as an external mechanism that works independently of you. And you think that it is happening to you. You think that it is giving you things that you just have to deal with and you have to work around, or you have to try to manipulate and try to accumulate and try to master this game, try to win this game. So see, most people are living in a way that they are actually externalizing their source. They are externalizing their own power by saying that, oh, I'm here, the universe is there, and the universe is sending me things. So that's why they're always hoping, they're waiting, they're wanting, they're just in a state of neediness. And along with that, they're constantly just thinking negative thoughts and not even controlling the thoughts that they want to think, not thinking the thoughts that they want to think. Thoughts are even just happening. So you see, that's a chaotic way of living your life. And if you are still always the creator of your life, however, in that state of existence, in that paradigm, in that worldview, most of your power as creator of your life is actually given to higher self, is given to your consciousness, your awareness, your unconscious mind, or subconscious mind, let's just say. All these words, don't get lost in the words. Seek the principle through. But in that state, your conscious mind, your conscious practices don't have any power, because if they did, you would create an absolutely chaotic life. So how do you gain more power to create your life? You have to slowly start to take responsibility for creating your life. Most people want to create their life, they like the idea, but they don't want to take responsibility for what they have already created. They still hate what they have created. They still resist against what they have created. They resist against their own selves. Most people want to create their own reality, but they don't want to take conscious control of their thoughts, of their mental processes, of how they live, of their reactions, because it's too hard, because it requires too much effort. So you see, you will gain power to create your own reality in proportion to how much you're willing to assume responsibility for your life, for everything in your life. And the more you start to see things as the creator would see things. You look out in your reality and you define things as, oh, this sucks, I hate this, I don't want this, I do want this, I didn't create this, this situation is limited, this is lack, I'm lacking right now, I hate my current situation. So you see, that's the perspective of your small self, living in that little world, or living in that big world in which you are the little person. Now, in order to be more like the creator, you have to see things from a higher perspective, from which there is no lack, there is no limitation, there is only the now. There is no limiting past or, fearful future. There is just the now, and it is always full of opportunity. It is always full of love. It is love. It is abundance. It is well-being. But you, being based in your little perspectives, are not able to notice and realize that well-being in the present moment, regardless of how your circumstances are. You being, constantly defining and judging the situation to be bad, in that state, you're not able to realize that you are powerful, that it is you who is creating this. Even by resisting this, you are creating this. So what you want to do in order to get more control of your reality is raise your awareness. Because as you raise your awareness through meditation, through consciously practicing awareness and mindfulness throughout the day, and taking control of the thoughts that you're thinking, right? Like, thoughts aren't just happening, but actually you're choosing to think the thoughts that you feel good to you. You're choosing to believe in the things that feel good to you, that make you feel empowered rather than contracted and limited. As you raise an awareness, you get granted more and more power. Think about it, like you're becoming stronger. You're becoming more responsible, more able to wield this big sword, this big powerful sword which has the ability to do anything, to create anything in your life. But in order to wield that sword, to be worthy of wielding that big responsibility, you have to become more able to wield it, strong enough to wield it. So just a couple of things that you can start to implement right now that will make you more able is to, number one, meditate more often. Meditate every single day. Meditate throughout the day again and again and again for however long as you can. Because that will start to disengage. That will start to enable you to disengage from the contents of your mind and just learn to be. Just noticing that presence that you are, through which you create your own reality. That stillness, which contains infinite possible realities within it, in the now. So meditate, number one. Without meditation, you'll really struggle to figure this puzzle out. Number two, throughout the day, become more aware of the thoughts that you're thinking. Whenever you think, notice yourself, first of all, catch yourself in the moment. Oh, what was I just thinking? Ask yourself, what was I just thinking? What was the contents of my mind just now? And then if it wasn't something that you chose, which in case it won't be, if it was something that was negative, then choose a different thought. Realize that you have the power to choose your thoughts rather than them just happening to you and you having to just give them your energy. So number two, choose your thoughts more frequently, more consciously, more deliberately. Keep your mental space clean. Always know what is going on here. Always know what you are giving your mental focus to, what you're giving your energy to, because what is in here is what will manifest. So assume more responsibility for the thoughts that you're thinking. And three, start to see things like the creator would. Stop defining things in your life and your situation and your life circumstances to be bad, to be negative, to be limited. You are exactly where you need to be right now to realize and learn the lessons that you need to learn right now in order to grow, in order to expand, in order to realize more of what I'm telling you right now. So realize that opportunity and stop defining things as good or bad, and rather learn to become more present and learn to become more loving towards what is. Relax your attachment to all the hate and the resistance towards what is, and start to see the positive in everything. This is not some weird random positive technique. It is actually something that works. Once you start to love what is, regardless of if it doesn't resonate with you, it's okay to, realize that, oh, this experience does not resonate with me. I want something else. That's okay. But once you relax your hate and resistance towards it, you free yourself from it. And now you can, create what you do want. Realize that the creator, the source of all life, of all things, of you, who you are at your core being, doesn't see things the way that you see. And when you resist and you hate and you feel negative, you feel bad because you are not seeing things as the creator, as your higher self is seeing things. So use the emotional guidance system. Whenever you feel bad, realize that you're not in alignment with your higher self and change your perspective to one that feels good. Continue to do this again and again and again. Be more like in quality as higher self. See things as higher self would. Live like higher self would. And as you continue to do these three things, you will naturally start to raise your awareness. And as you raise your awareness, you become more powerful and able to wield that big responsibility through which you can create your own reality. The more you assume responsibility as the creator of your life, the more power will be granted to you to be the creator of your life. But as long as you are living in a victim mindset and you are looking at this external universe that is bringing you things and that you have to always deal with and fight with, then in that state, you better be thankful that you don't have the power to create your own reality, because you would make an absolute mess out of your own reality, out of your world. So in a sense, if you're in that state right now, show some gratitude, some appreciation that there's this mechanism built into life that isn't giving you full conscious control of your reality, because you are not conscious, because you're lacking in awareness right now, which there's nothing to be sad about. It's a beautiful thing to even realize that and admit that to yourself, because only when you admit that to yourself, then you can start actually working towards assuming the responsibility and working towards the life that you want. So meditation, thoughts, assuming responsibility for the thoughts, and seeing things as the creator would, your higher self would. These three things will give you more and more and more power. The more you practice them, the more power you will get, and the more powerful you become, and the faster you will be able to manifest. Now, if you want to further learn how to accelerate your reality and become a more conscious, deliberate creator of your circumstances, and how to accelerate the time between desire and manifestation, click the link in the description box below and watch my free Accelerated Reality Masterclass. All right? But other than that, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.